guns, gear, on-target training out here in Oregon. Before we get started, if you enjoy our content, please like, share, subscribe, and above all, comment. I really appreciate your feedback, your ideas, your disagreements, and that helps me learn. It helps me better understand how to prepare the content that we do provide for you, and ultimately it's a great way to interact with the folks who enjoy our content. Today I wanted to talk to you about using a flash sight picture and what that looks like and why it's appropriate at some times and how to train for it. So a sight flash, you know, I'm literally coming up as I'm presenting the gun, and what I'm looking for, this is for fast shooting, like if you're trying to go fast and hit the target. What I'm looking for is I want to pick up my front sight first, rear sight, and as soon as I've got that, as soon as those things are just, even if they're close and not exactly precisely aligned, but they're on the target, like how fast can I do that? And what I found, I was practicing this the other day quite a bit, and it was surprising to me how much faster I can present from holster and get the first shot onto the target. I was doing this at a couple of different distances, 8 yards, and then I went back, I think, to 20. And again, it's different than aligning, you know, finding your front sight, aligning the front sight, having a front sight focus, all of which is super important, and that's the way I normally shoot, especially if I'm trying to be precise. But if I'm trying to speed up and deliver multiple hits on target, right, it's the first shot that I want to break as accurately as I can in, you know, a torso area of a target. Right around 1.34, 1.35, 1.33, so nothing special. Slowing down here, up, look, sights are on, press. Finding the front sight, finding the target, breaking the shot. Look, sights, press. Up, look, sights, press, reset, press. So it works great on steel because you get that immediate feedback on the steel if you get a hit. Now, the hits may be over here, or maybe a bit low, but the idea is I'm not shooting to be as precise as I possibly can. I'm trying to get a combat effective hit on a threat to my life. So there are a lot of competitive shooters who do this, you know, very, very well. I'm not a competitive shooter, but I do find it useful to practice different techniques, especially because that's where we find where our failure points are and what works and what doesn't. Now, quite frankly, you know, most of us who have done some training and practice regularly can reliably point shoot, you know, at, you know, up to 5, maybe even 7 yards. I'm not saying you should point shoot. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it doesn't take much if the muzzle is pointed at the center of the target to get a hit on that. Ideally, we would see the sight, the front sight, aligned with the rear sight, or if we're using a red dot optic, right, as I'm pressing out, I'm bringing that red dot onto the target, up to my eyes, so I'm seeing that break. What I was trying to do is press it in terms of speed, so front sight, rear sight, right, and then my focus is on the target and breaking the shot at full extension. This is not something I'm saying you should do. You want to be safe first. What I am saying is it's worth understanding how different techniques can be mission specific to what you are doing. We got our Glock 45 here, right? I'm coming out as soon as I'm on the target and I've got the front sight, rear sight break. Front sight, rear sight break. flash, break. I've got a target over there, and I'm actually looking at the target the whole time. It's just what I'm getting in there is I'm getting my sights coming up so I can see that flash. Sight, flash, picture. So here's the bottom line, guys. Yes, we want to use our sights. Yes, when I'm trying to be precise and I'm shooting dot torture or precision drill or trying to get ocular cranial headshots, at distance, at 7 yards, 10 yards, right? I am nice and slow on the trigger. I make sure my front sight is exactly where I want it, in alignment with the rear sight, and I'm very focused on being accurate. Of course, who wouldn't want to be accurate? And it is also worth noting that I can go faster if I don't necessarily have a perfect sight picture, like absolutely everything's aligned. I know exactly where it is. Okay, rear side, everything's perfect. Okay, now I can have this nice smooth press. The gun doesn't move. There's nothing wrong with that, and that's very helpful in many situations. But if I'm in a defensive situation, it's really how fast can I get the gun up, see the sights, break the shot. Right? Here, break. That's what I want to do. So I encourage you to experiment with that. And, you can do some dry practice in a safe area, no ammunition, right? The whole thing there. But really work on that and seeing if you can do that sight flash where you're staring at the target the whole time and all the sights do is they just index. They index where the bullet is going to hit approximately, assuming you've not done a trigger mash, which I'm certainly known to do. It is a great process and technique to learn in combination with the other techniques that you want to learn to help develop your skills, especially if you're looking to shoot fast or perhaps in a competitive environment. It can have a lot of applications. Well, those are some thoughts on a flash sight picture, and hopefully the videos that we were showing throughout this gave you some sense of what that looks like. Again, from 8 yards, presenting from a holster, right, like essentially open carry. And this, I don't have a cover garment. I was coming out at 1.35 on average, 1.33, something like that. Again, it's not super fast. There are guys can do that shot in under a second. That's not me, but I was faster doing that than my traditional way of coming up, aligning the sights perfectly, and then pressing the shot. So once again, I think it's well worth taking the time to test some new techniques and apply what is relevant to you. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Share your thoughts on this in the comments, and we'll respond to those. I do appreciate all of you who comment and all of those who watch the channel. All right, that's all we got today. Thanks so much for watching. Finally, and as always, stay safe.